Hi, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Maz and welcome back to the channel. Anyways, in today's video we will be going ahead and reacting to an Instagram reel that I had come across the other day, and is something I've noticed not only myself have I dealt with in the past, but I think a lot of guys are dealing with right now and could potentially relate to. And so I wanted to go ahead and react to it with you guys, as well as say a couple of things in today's video. But before we go ahead and we do that, be sure to go ahead and smash the like button for your boy, drop a comment down below, subscribe if you're new because we're on the road to 1K, and then last but not least, turn on my post notifications so you never miss out on any of my future video uploads. But without further ado, let's go ahead, let's dive into it. I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna pull it up on my phone. I'm gonna also put a screen recording on the side, so for those of you that are watching, you can follow along. And if you happen to be watching this video, but let's say you're busy and you're just listening to the audio, I'm gonna go ahead and read it as well. So in this reel, and I believe it's been posted by another gentleman, he basically says in this long paragraph, no one talks about how hard it is for a guy who didn't date in high school to have a glow up and start dating after, and how frustrating and embarrassing it is to be, grammatical error, learning lessons as a 20-something that most guys have already experienced. It can be draining being so far behind because technically he should know better, but he's lacking in experience, and that can make him unsure of himself, which is the least attractive thing a man can be. And so when I had first seen that reel, my immediate thought was I could totally relate, just because for those of you that have been following the channel for a little bit of time, or you're new here, I've talked about this in multiple videos, but up until about 24 years old, 23 and a half to be exact, if you want to be exact, I had zero dating experience, bro. I've never gone out on a date, and I'm 25 now, about to be 26 in about a month and a half. And so all the dating experience I have acquired has been within the last 2 years of my life. And if you're wondering, do I feel embarrassed? Not necessarily. I was a little embarrassed, I'm not gonna lie, but I guess the embarrassment that a lot of guys are thinking in terms of them feeling that way, I don't necessarily feel, just because my entire life I've always kept like my dating and my love life private. Even now, like, I still keep it private. Like, most of my boys probably think I still get no hoes, but little do they. So I hardly felt embarrassed, but I'm not gonna lie to you and say that I wouldn't feel embarrassed whenever I was growing up with my boys and like my friends and stuff, and when it came to like kicking with them and, you know, hanging out with them, and the conversation of like dating and like the women that my boys were seeing, or the women that they were smashing, or the stories that they were exchanging, I'd feel left out, I'm not gonna lie to you, and it would oftentimes make me feel less than. But at the time, it's like my fault, or I'm the only person to blame, and that's because like I was too much of a bitch, like, growing up, to talk to women. And not only that, but it's just like I was going through depression and a whole lot of things, and basically my confidence wasn't like nowhere near what it is now. And so was it embarrassing? Yes. It is also frustrating, I'm not gonna lie to you. Even as somebody who has a decent amount of dating experience now, it can still be frustrating. But I think what a lot of guys think in terms of the frustration they might experience, I don't think you're going to experience the frustration of feeling behind. If anything, I feel the frustration of the fact that I haven't necessarily figured out how to get what I want, whatever it is I want, out of dating quite yet, because I am still going through the learning curve. And not only that, but it's just like, why would you be embarrassed in the first place? Like, one thing you gotta realize, bro, is everybody is living their life on their own timeline. And not only that, but it's like everybody's time will come. And that means your time to potentially put yourself out there and to start dating is going to fucking come. It may take some time. it may take for you to have a glow up like it took me for you to finally have the confidence to put yourself out there. But it's like, why should you even care what another person or what another man has to say about how you're living your life, or about the fact that you have a lack of a dating life, when in hindsight, maybe if you're not a bitch like I was, maybe your focus is on other things. Maybe you're focused on getting your money right. Maybe you're focused on getting your body right. Maybe you're focused on just working on yourself, and that is totally okay. But if you do feel embarrassed and you're frustrated, then fucking do something about it. Because I don't know about you, bro, but that's exactly what I did 2 years ago. Because like I said, up until 24, I had zero dating experience, bro. It was fucking embarrassing. I didn't give a fuck what people had to say. I felt embarrassed for myself, because when it came time for me to go out on my very first date, I didn't know what the fuck to do. And mind you, bro, I was almost in my mid-20s, bro. And so after I had exhausted all my options in terms of trying to figure out how to start having a dating life and trying to fix my problem of having a lackluster dating life, I had a conversation about this with one of my boys one night back in, I believe, November of 2021. And long story short, he had given me some advice, more specifically advice to work on myself to help develop my confidence, so I'd have enough confidence to be able to put myself out there. And at the time, the advice was kind of crazy, because back in 2021, the whole red pill space and self-improvement space wasn't as big as it is now for a lot of guys. And so I thought bro was crazy at the time. But I was also like, you know what? Like, I'm tired of feeling this way. Let me go ahead and give it a try. And then lo and behold, after a couple of short months of me working on myself, I finally went out on my first fucking dates. And even though it was fucking embarrassing, I at least not only put in some of the work, but I actually went out on my first fucking date. Because, bro, I don't know about you, but what do you think is more embarrassing? Like, the fact that you're trying to fix your problem and you're trying to go through the growing pains of dating, or being 30, 40, or even a 50-year-old guy and having zero dating experience, and you're just fucking sitting there complaining about it without even trying to do anything about it? I don't know about you, but I think option number 2 is more embarrassing and more frustrating than option number 1. Because either way, you're going to have to go through the embarrassments and frustrations. You can either go through the embarrassment and frustration of trying to date and trying to learn how to date and try to get good at dating, or you can go through the embarrassment and frustration of never having gone out on a date, never having kissed a girl, and being frustrated at the fact that you're frustrated at yourself because you're too much of a bitch to do anything about it. Like, the choice is yours, bro. And like I said, bro, who gives a fuck what anyone else thinks? Because had I gave a fuck, bro, I wouldn't have made it as far as I did. And if you're wondering if I still feel embarrassed and a little frustrated to this very day, even though I have gone out on over 30 dates at this point with over 15 different women, yes, I am still embarrassed and a little frustrated at the fact that I don't have as much knowledge as some of my boys have, or as some of these guys have online. But you also got to take into account that a lot of people may have started dating not only earlier than me, but earlier than you, bro. Because like I said, all the experience I have acquired has been in the last 2 years of my life. Whereas most people probably have been dating since high school and college. And not only that, but with some of the shit that I have experienced, and from what women have told me about situations that didn't work out with other guys, or how weird some of the guys are that they dealt with, and how some of my homegirls tell me how some of their boyfriends surprisingly treat them. Bro, I am running fucking circles around some of these dudes, despite, I guess you could say, the lack of dating experience compared to most guys, and at the fact that I started later than most. But that's all I really had to say in today's video. Like I said, bro, don't be frustrated or embarrassed if you're in your 20s and you haven't necessarily gone out on a date, or you don't have any dating experience. what should be more frustrating and embarrassing is the fact that you haven't necessarily tried to do anything about it, and you haven't necessarily put in any effort to fix your situation, and you're just playing the victim. That's gonna go ahead and wrap up today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys found some value out of it. And if you did, be sure to go ahead and smash the like button for your boy. Drop a comment down below what you thought of today's video and today's video topic and how you felt about it. Last but not least, go ahead and click the subscribe button because we're gonna go ahead, or sorry. My mind is everywhere. I'm just flowing, bro. But go ahead and click the subscribe button because we're on the road to 1K. And then, I don't know why I said lastly, but lastly, turn on my post notice bell so you get notified of all my future video uploads and so that you don't miss out on any of them. I'm going to leave all of this in here. I don't give a fuck. But I hope you all have a beautiful rest of your day, and I'll catch y'all in my next video. Peace.